Okay, let's go to the beach. Come on. Let's go to the beach. Come on. It's such a beautiful morning for once. It's actually like quite glassy and sunny. And we're gonna go take the dogs on the sandspit and go for a little walk. But we have to wait because Grant said he needed to do some casting.
Those over there surfing.
Yeah.
There they go. Off to surf. Paul's even got her coffee and her phone in a dry bag. Well, Ash loves the birds. It's okay, the birds need the exercise too.
In the spring of 2022, we bought a 1980 Downeaster cutter that was neglected for a decade. We sailed her up north to her new home port on the central coast of California, did a major haul out, and prepped her for blue water cruising. This life is completely new to us, but the dream is far from it, and finally we see it within reach. For the first time ever, we've moved on to Mundial and are continuing to ready her before we set sail. Thanks for joining us as we acquire our sea legs and say goodbye to land life. Hi! Oh, that was nice. Oh, it's warm. Yeah. Warm, hot shower in a cooler zone makes such a difference. That was really nice. Last week, we removed our handrails to get ready to rebed them. I took them over to Grant's parents' house, who are nice enough to let us use their house when we need some more space to do work. And I got busy with sanding and oiling the handrails. Can I see the color of the water?
Yeah, you can see it right there.
That looks quite brown.
What's weird is I thought this is gonna take a long time.
I can do it. So this is a 5-gallon bucket and we have 45-gallon for 50.
50.
Last week we decided to flush out our water tanks with bleach because we noticed some algae growth. As we were flushing it out, we noticed that the tank sight gauge was reading half full. Or half empty if you're a sailor, since the ocean doesn't like optimists. Either way, we had it full when we filled them. I'm gonna leave Grant to keep manually pumping out our tank that we discovered may or may not have a little hole, which is kind of a bummer. And then I am working up on the deck trying to remove all these screws because we want to rebed all of them because they're also leaking.
here if you need it.
That looks done. Yay! My first banana bread. Oh, it's split open kind of. Two parts, part A. Not quite peanut butter. It's a little too runny. Oh, okay. Oh, this is pretty cool. Heading out to Port San Luis right now to pick up some ducks, Dyneema, to redo our standing rigging. And this is very nostalgic because we used to come out here for 3 months in a row when we were hauled out working on our boat, but we're not going back to work on our boat, which is nice. We're just going to pick up some material and get to work on replacing our rigging.
I have a fear that our old stainless would give up and we would demast. We don't want that.
We don't want that.
So,
and then we might go to Mercy's after.
yeah. Synthetic. Some people like it, some people hate it. We don't really know, but it's the option that we're going with. And maybe we'll see Mike.
Maybe we'll see Mike.
Or Kurt.
Or Kurt.
Or Birdie.
Or Birdie.
Or Brent.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Or Brent.
Maybe we'll see Brent.
Yeah.
There's Kurt.
Oh yeah. And there's Mike.
Truck. Heavy our stay was, just one of them.
Look, Grant, we're in our old stomping grounds. There's the Billy Boy.
Yeah, Billy boy. Never
We got
gonna
some.
move.
Yeah.
So this stuff is stronger than steel.
Woohoo! Mundial's not going anywhere except for south. Hopefully.
So as you probably know, we have a leak in our forward 50-gallon freshwater tank down here. And due to having such headroom in a downeaster, the sole is really tight to the bottom of the bilge, and they didn't make access hatches that were big enough to remove the tank. Probably pretty normal to not be able to physically remove the tank from most boats, especially older boats. But she's had 43 years of life, and we're gonna see if we can plug up the holes. So I found they're right on the weld. Found 2 holes that I can see. One is down right underneath all the plumbing. That's reachable down at the bottom of the tank. The other is on the leading edge of the tank. And I was able to access it through, there's a hatch here. And then I scooted myself underneath and basically got to where the compression post was. down into the keel, so my head is like right here. And there's a little hole over here. So what we got, because we're not going to tear out the sole in order to pull out the tank, in order to re-weld it or build a new one or build a plastic one. And really, in order to be efficient in the water size, it has to taper to fit the bilge, because there's not a lot of space down there, so you have to use as much as you can. So what I got is JB Weld tank weld, and my plan is to sand and clean and prep that surface as much as I can, and then mix some of this up and put it all around the area where the holes are. And then we'll let this kick, fill up the water tanks, and see if she holds. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to dry out the tank. The hole that's closest here is down right at the very bottom edge, and so it probably has water in it that can't even get out because it's below the, slightly below the tap of the tank. I'm gonna have to dry it real well because this tank weld doesn't stick to wet metal.
We couldn't find a sink to fit this size, so we've decided to just repair the hole in the sink with some tank weld. This was my quick fix from last week.
What's up, Gregory?
And now I'm gonna take the Gorilla Tape off.
Ash stuff. It's going.
The light. This is some tank weld. I'm gonna use it on our sink. I only need like a 1/4 inch. This is the worst knife. Uniform color? I would say so. Short video this week, but thanks for watching, and here's a sneak peek into next week's boat work.
I think there's still some constructional stretch to take out of it, but
You know, I was just thinking, I remember I used to date a guy and I asked him to build me something. I think it was like a garden bed, and he said that he couldn't because he didn't have a garage. And then I believed that for years until I met Grant. And now, look at me. I just use a garbage can as my garage. Just thought that was funny. And some bloopers for you.